Morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Building Returns, hosted by Radio W.O.R.K.S. My name is John Stokoe, and my business partner, Roger Burrows, and I founded Source My Property, which is a property development and investment portfolio building firm in South Wales of the UK. This radio show, Building Returns, is all about the movers and shakers in the property and real estate industry globally. And my role here is to showcase all of those people that are doing things differently and better than everybody else. And it's for them to share their original flavor and get their message out. Tonight, I have the honor to host property entrepreneurs extraordinaire Alec Witts and Philip Jordan, who collectively own and run Promenade Property Investments in the UK. Good evening, gents.
Good evening, John.
Hi, John.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. You?
Good, yeah, fine, enjoying it. All good. Before we get into the thick of it, guys, and start talking all things property, both of you, or one at a time, please, can you just give our viewers a bit of a background as to where you've come from and what's got you to where you are today in your property journey?
Would you like to go first, Alec?
Yeah, okay. Well, we're best friends, and just over a year ago, we were talking about buying a rental property together. Discovered that you could do property education. So we did property education, and the more we started to learn, the more we found out that we didn't know, and the more that we wanted to know. And we realized that we could create a business out of it rather than just a bit of a hobby. So fast forward a year and a couple of months, and here we are today.
Okay, Philip?
My background is bars and nightclubs. I have a different business partner, Ross. We've been doing that for about 7 years. And Alec and I spoke about this about a year and a half ago. I was very excited to get involved. The journey has been really, really interesting. I've got a brother-in-law who's a property developer. And if you ask him, I used to help him on his building sites, and I was an absolute disaster. I'd struggled to paint, and I think I'd wrecked most things that I was made to fix or fill. So with little experience in that industry, it's been really, really interesting.
Cool. I see there was a thought on your side. Susie wants to know, how do you do it? And Susie, you're quite right. That's my very next question. Explain to our viewers and listeners in your words what your business does.
So our business is about helping people. So we look for houses that are tired, neglected, and need a lot of work. We look to secure these houses for below market value, so we can add value. So we add value in a monetary sense. We also add value in an aesthetic sense. So we make the house nice and modern, clean, fresh, tidy, brand new, everything, basically new kitchens, new bathrooms, stuff like that. So we add value in that way too. And then after 6 months, we refinance the property, pull out the equity that we created, and use that to pay our investors back.
Okay.
Also, we look for our own property deals in the area that we've chose to invest in, but we've also built a network of sourcing agents, people like you, John. We're working closely with you and Roger, who are looking for property deals in other parts of the UK for us.
Okay, good. What's involved in the business structure?
Primarily, it's Alec and I that are 50-50 partners in Promenade Property Investments. But we've been able to create a really good wealth of network with different people that we've met in our property journey, in our property education, and then regular networking meetings, particularly our networking that's hosted by Dave Portes and Lucy Maria, and that's called AIMS, and that's in Birmingham. And we actually went on Tuesday this week.
Okay, so your strength comes from the actual structure is you two guys, but the other team that sit underneath you, your power team, so to speak, are non-direct employees, but obviously power in numbers and finding through the network, finding the right people to complement your guys' skill set so you can get all these properties across the line. Is that right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've got to have the sort of main structure of a very good solicitor, which we have, who's a personal friend of mine. We've got a really good mortgage broker, and it's all about building relationships with these people that align with our values. So we like to think that we work extremely hard. We don't work set hours in the day, so we could be doing stuff at 9-10 o'clock at night, and the people in our power team are also people like that. So if I need a conveyancing question answered, I can text my solicitor and she's happy to reply, you know, which makes the whole process a lot easier when you can sort of lean on people and people are just happy to help, you know, and favours go each way. So that, you know, really makes business easier.
The congruency is so important, as he's just highlighted, having people around you that match those values and support you. You know, don't bring you down. They're positive, not negative.
Oh, it's essential. You know, a complete team, whether they are in or outside of your actual operating structure, are essential for completion. Can you give our viewers an idea? You don't have to give me exact numbers. Just give us an idea. Take a generic deal or opportunity that you've worked through to completion and turned around. Can you give us some idea of numbers, how it started, what it got you in for, what you did to change it, and where you are right now with it?
Okay, so we'll talk about our first deal, if you like. So last year we concentrated mainly on just building a sort of solid base of buy-to-lets, buy-to-let houses that would, you know, relatively small cash flow, but as you know, as we started out, as we were learning, they're easier to handle. This year we're going into HMOs, which are a bigger fish, but you can actually offer more accommodation to people as you sort of segmenting a house up into separate rooms, separate sort of little studio flats, things like that. But our first buy-to-let deal we sold, didn't we?
We did sell. Yeah.
Our idea was to rent it out, but when it got to the sort of the end of the refurb, property prices in the area had risen, and we changed our mind and decided to sell it. So we bought that property for around 60,000. It was in a right mess. It needed damp works. It needed a new staircase, a new kitchen, a new bathroom. It had polystyrene tiles on the ceiling, which also hazards in there. You know, as nice as they look, they need to come down. The bathroom.
Did they have an avocado bath suite?
Sorry?
Did they have an avocado coloured bath suite?
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it had these like mirrored brown tiles on the wall as well. It was
like Austin Powers type.
It was definitely Austin Powers. Yeah.
The world has moved on. Yeah, and that's where you guys come in.
It was definitely stuck in a time loop, this one. But we
so what sort of numbers did you put into it?
So we spent about 18,000 on the refurb. It was quite a big one because the staircase, we didn't, when we go in and we view the property and we do a refurb budget, we kind of didn't notice the staircase. When the builders got the carpets off and they opened the back up, they realized that whoever had put it in had put the risers where the treads were supposed to be. So it's kind of like the opposite way around. So you had really steep, shallow stairs, which we had changed, which added a little bit more to the budget, which kind of just put our decision to sell it in the end, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever done a property deal that's that straightforward and simple the whole way through? No. So you always got to build in and expect the unexpected, so to speak. And then, if you don't mind telling us, without telling the taxman too much, which is entirely up to you, what sort of numbers did you let it go for?
Please.
We sold it for 93,000.
Okay, you did well. So you did well.
It wasn't bad for our first one.
No, that's really, really good news. And I like the fact that you say it was your first one and you did turn a profit on your first one. There's a lot of guys out there that are, you know, battling to get their first one across the line, or inexperienced or nervous or don't know how to do it. And you guys will help give them the confidence. In fact, that's one of the main reasons I wanted to get you guys on the show. I'm highlighting people from all around the world doing various different things. And in the UK, a big sector that's propping up the rental refurb property market is people that are being, for the sake of a word, churned out of property schools. Okay, 92% of them don't actually go on to buy their first property. Now, why did I want to speak to you guys? Because you guys are the prime example of how to do it and how to do it exceptionally well. You know, in a year and a half, you've come out from other jobs, other roles. And how many properties have you done or turned over or busy with in total, or have you completed or working on so far?
Our intention was actually to get 2 buy-to-lets in the first year. We got 4.
There you go.
And yesterday we had the mortgage agreed on our first HMO. So this year started off really well, to be honest. So we're on that sort of 5th deal now.
The important thing was with the, like Alex said, with the starting with the buy-to-let, it allowed that, you know, there was less risk associated to the actual activity. I had limited knowledge. Alec obviously has more understanding of the trades, but being able to make those mistakes, you know, it wasn't too costly, and we'd allowed enough by buying under market value, you know, 20% off under market value to have slippage room if there was a mistake.
Yep. And like I say, you guys are the quintessential example of guys that have got out there, you know, knuckled down, teamed up together, you know, joined up instead of trying to do it on your own. There's nothing wrong with doing it with somebody else. And you're doing exactly what you've been taught in the property schools, and you're being extremely successful from it. So from my side, you know, congratulations. Fantastic. It's awesome to see, and a fantastic lesson for others that are watching to learn from, really.
Thank you.
Just want to come back to another point, though. You're talking about investors and stuff like that, and one of the areas I like to discuss, and with people all around the world. If we had limitless money, we'd be doing limitless deals. But money is limited. It is a resource that does get limited quickly, especially when you're both in your own jobs and you're changing careers and you're trying to build a company. And the ability or direct relationship to the speed at which a business can grow. The direct relationship is by the amount of money that you can attract to help support and grow that business. So my question is, there's many different ways and everybody has their own way. How are you guys doing property deals with none of your own money?
The critical thing is finding the options that allow you to use other people's money. So to start with, we one of the first property, we used a credit card. We drew down against that credit card and utilized that money and then repaid that credit card. So it was a nominal charge. And then we've obviously stretched further to people who would like to get involved with us, who aren't happy with who people who aren't happy with the rates that they're getting in the bank and want to get more for their buck.
I think people feel comfortable with property as well. You know, everyone has sort of a basic knowledge of property. Put your money in bricks and mortar and things like that. So, you know, people are quite comfortable with it. So we found that's just working for us.
I mean, yeah, if you went to go borrow money to go and buy Google shares, they'd probably laugh you out the house. But when you're looking at borrowing money in an established bricks and mortar investment, people are a lot more likely to do that. And it's something that you can generate over and over and over again and build up your value, your rapport to be able to do so. So you're obviously doing that successfully.
There's something tangible as well, aren't you? You know, you're buying a tangible thing, whereas, you know, stocks and shares and other things like that, they're kind of not tangible.
Well, to be honest, the investors that we've had to date, you know, we've given them the option to see the properties that we've been involved with, and that's a nice thing to be able to offer. And as you said, the tangibility of property allows that, you know. So being able to take someone to somewhere and show them what they're investing in, that's quite a good thing.
So you guys have a track record. You've done this a few times. You've turned properties over successfully. You've returned investors' money successfully. So if there's anybody listening in and they want to get hold of you, where do they go? How do they find you?
Well, the easiest way is through our Facebook page. We like to document what we do and promote what we do on our Facebook page. So if anyone would like to message us, it's Promenade Property Investments Ltd. Put that in the search bar on Facebook and we'll pop up.
Okay, awesome. Obviously, they can message you and ask any specific questions that they need. Have you got a website, guys?
We just have a landing page at the moment. So if you did Google Promenade Property Investments, there's a landing page. It explains a little bit about what we do, and there's a hyperlink to the Facebook page because that's where we're most active.
Oh, there we go. We just popped it up for there.
I think the world's going social media. You know, everything's gone through social media, so we found that that's where our highest activity is. No,
sure. And a elaborate group of web pages all strung together. People tend to get lost with that. They want quick information, and you can find it quickly on the front page of Facebook. So I get that completely. Okay, guys. Here's a question. What sets you guys apart from everybody else? What makes you unique?
I think it's our personalities and our passion to help and support people. The important thing for us is to help people. We want to help people by providing them quality homes at reasonable and affordable prices. We want to offer investors opportunities to be involved with us as a business, to be a part of it, to grow with us, and obviously get a good return on their money.
Fantastic. So that falls neatly into the next piece that I'd like to query about is your identity, your branding. Obviously it's vital. We're talking about social media, how important that is, and your perception and branding and getting that out there into the world of social media is essential. It's absolutely vital and critical to get out there. How do you see yourselves being perceived, and what do you do to maintain that?
I think we're being perceived very well. We get a lot of nice messages. People always talk very positively about what we're doing, because I don't think there's that many. Well, I certainly haven't seen any other property companies on Facebook that kind of document their journey like we do. We try and give weekly updates of where we're at, what we're up to. When we have properties being refurbed, we like to do sort of walkthrough videos, explaining what we're going to do, and then show them halfway through, and then the finished finished refurb. Just trying to stand out in that way, really. It takes a bit of confidence. It took a bit of confidence at first to actually do the videos, but they're getting a lot easier. So just document, just promote what we do as often as we can, because Phil's got 2 businesses. I'm still employed. It's not loads and loads and loads going on to talk about every single day, but once a week we can get a video out there and just carry on our journey.
I think we've been very lucky to have people around us that have supported us, and mentored us, nurtured us. We've always had our training and development, which has helped that, and it's our ability now to entertain, but also educate.
Sure, I couldn't agree more. If everybody thinks they know how to do it and they're just starting out at a business, I wish them good luck, and they won't be there in a year's time. You guys have taken everything that you've learned from the property company. I know you're involved with some mentors, and you're taking a lot of that on board. Alec, I've seen you grow substantially online and various different things, your fitness side of stuff as well, your grasp of social media, and that is, I don't want to use the word exposed, that might come across negatively, that's promoted you guys, that's promoted you, and both of you, and Promenade successfully, and people, you are starting to get traction. It's one of the main reasons why I wanted you guys on the show. You guys, that's what I say in the beginning, movers and shakers in the industry. Who's getting out there? Who's actually getting it done? It's not boring and all the rest, but you guys are getting out there. You're getting an audience. You're getting people to come to you. And this is why you're getting the level of investment. And that investment is being backed up by solid property deals with solid returns, and you're generating. So, I will probably look back at this in a year's time and go, look at where we were, look at where we are right now. Because you guys will continue to grow. So, you're in the right space with the right mentors, and you will continue to grow. So, again,
I think
awesome.
You hit the nail on the head there, John, with getting out there. Action is the most important thing that we've found. You can sit behind the laptop looking at Rightmove and researching areas and all this type of stuff, but if you don't actually get out there and do it, you don't actually move forward. You don't create any relationships, you don't make any mistakes to learn from, and also having the mentors really helps, to give you a bit of a kick up the backside, and because we can all get a bit lazy, but we have 2 separate mentors as well. We have a property mentor, and we also have a personal development mentor, because developing as a person is how you grow with your business.
The best investment you'll ever make is in yourself and your own growth.
Yeah, of course. Completely agree with that.
No, awesome. So, guys, you're obviously busy. Alec, I've seen you at times up way before everybody else in the gym. Phil, I know you work late in the clubs and all the rest of that. How do you balance that life or another life and the property life and actual just life in general? And how do you kick your shoes off? What do you do to keep balanced?
To
be honest, John, I've always kind of been involved in loving work. I've always loved what I've done, whether I've worked in hotels, whether I've worked in marketing, bars and clubs now. I've been fortunate for 7 years to be self-employed. And my other business partner I have, when we started off, we worked 90-hour weeks, but we loved it. We were building something, growing something. Now I'm a bit better at delegating and managing my time. I like to try and make more time for my health, fitness, a bit of meditating, recently a bit of yoga as well, but also really making time for friends and family. And that's something I did neglect in the first few years. And I think actually being around so many successful people in property has helped me take that part of my life to the next level as well, because these people are able to balance everything.
That is vital. Focusing all on one thing and losing out on the other side. So it's good that you've recognized that. Alec, what are you up to?
I'm just starting another business as well, a personal training business. I feel passionate about property, but I'm also passionate about health and fitness. So like you said, I do get up at 5 a.m. every single day. I go to the gym for an hour and a half before I start work. I follow a strict, healthy diet, gym diet, which the fitness and the diet helps me to sort of sustain the day, really, because I get up at 5 a.m. and go to work, come back, property stuff to do, go back to the gym. Always keeping active, keeping myself fit and healthy does allow me to work longer, and then work in the weekends. I'm fortunate at the moment to not have kids. I don't know if fortunate is the right word, but I don't have kids at the moment, so I'm kind of really excited to be building two businesses, and just better in my future, really.
Sure. Now, you both have other businesses that you're involved with. You both have other businesses that you seem to be obviously enjoy, love, and are passionate about. So, as this is a property show, we're bringing back to property. Where do you see yourselves, your property business, in 3 to 5 years' time relative to the others? And what's the vision? What's the design for the property business in 3 to 5 years' time?
It's definitely to support us with an income, because property does provide a passive income. So the vision is to sort of be full-time in property, so that we can actually do more property, in the sense of we can help more people to renovate homes, get more people housed in nice homes, to help more people have a return on their money, and just generally take the property company to the next level. But it does take time to build. Property is not the quickest industry. It takes a couple of months to get through the conveyancing, and then a few more months to do the refurbishment. So it does take time. So in 3 to 5 years, we hope to both be supported by the company that we're in and be able to offer our services a lot more.
Great, nice one. And now that you've given us pretty much a whole background of who you are, where you've been and where you're going, for you to be able to grow, I suppose you need to be able to leverage. Phil, you're talking about the network, which we'll get on shortly. Obviously, dealing with other people external to the business. So we have other people that are listening in from all over the world. Obviously, we've given them given them details on how to get hold of you. How can you help? What is it that you could do for them? What do you need from other people so that you can work cohesively and grow? What would you like to say to them?
Where do we start? Are you talking from an investment perspective, or people to get involved in that way, or
whatever way you want? If there was somebody listening in and you needed something to grow this business, what is it? Who would you calling on? Are you calling on investors? You're looking for people to give you homes? What would you ideally like to get across?
I think a broad cross section of all the different areas would be great. The people that we've networked, I personally feel, for me, is the most amazing thing. There's so many amazing personalities that are involved in this that we have been able to learn from, and the learning is critical. Like you say, investing in yourself. And I think when I was at school, I didn't take the time to really learn, and being around people that you can learn from is amazing, and be able to teach other people what we've learned. It's funny, actually, one of the people that we work closely with and we admire, Sue Sims, someone she's now mentoring, had messaged me recently, in fact today, asking about my experiences with Sue, and I couldn't speak more positively. And it was really interesting because this person was at the same stage we were 18 months ago, and he was putting offers on properties. He did seem a little dejected with the situation, but it's just nice to give that person the encouragement that it will happen, and I hope this doesn't sound facetious, but it's a numbers game. It's like when you go out and there's lots of attractive ladies, and they don't necessarily always take a liking to you, but if you ask enough, hopefully, you'll share a drink with one or two of them.
Yeah, well, there's a man with experience working in a nightclub. You touched on something that's obviously vitally important. What Alec mentioned earlier and this is what's really interesting, is the growth that you guys have gone through from being where he was 18 months ago to now being in a mentoring capacity. And I think you nailed one thing vitally important. It's a numbers game, but what backs up the numbers game? It's exactly what Alex said. It's about taking action. We can learn as much as we want. We can read all the books. We can get all highly motivated. We can go down to the club and have a chat about it, but nothing happens. And you guys have got out there and actually made it happen. You've created that journey. You've taken what you've learned and you've implemented it. So with the accountability of mentors, with the learning that you've had from that, you've actually got out there and done it. And I want to use the word, it's actually quite simple. You've got it. To me, it's a science. If you do one thing after the next, yes, it's a numbers game, but if you're taking that action, the results have to happen. And this is a message I want to get across to all viewers, is anybody can do this. It's about implementing what you've taken. Like I said, I know approximately 92% of people that are churned out of these property companies don't buy their first property. It's really, for various reasons, whether they lack the money. Now, we've discussed, you don't need money to do this. If you lack the time, if you don't have the time, what do? You go and find yourself a sourcing agent. Somebody can help you, and they'll help you project manage. They can help the whole thing across the line. So time and money, the two things that they don't have: time, money, and probably experience. But all three of those are commodities that you can find. Time, sourcing agent; money, we know the deal. You find the right deal that makes enough money. You speak to enough people, the people will back you and put the money into the deal. So there really is no excuses, and it's really sad. And this is one of the main reasons why I wanted to have this show, was to educate people globally, not just in the UK, globally, that we can be doing deals with no time, with no money, and you can be successful, and you can create that financial independence that'll release you so that you can do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Alec, you might want to spend more time with Zim. Phil, you might want to spend more time on the club. Whatever it is that you want to do, it allows us, it gives us that ability to release us and do whatever we want to do. So, and again, I'll say it again, I've said it 3-4 times already. You guys have enacted the model, and in 18 months, you've come from little or no education to being extremely successful. So again, congrats on that.
Thank you.
I've got two more points to go before we have to sign off. Obviously, all of that, putting it all together, it all gets tied up in a network. So what do you guys do? Because it really is just the two of you. You don't have other employees that can run off and go and do stuff. What do you do, and how are you involved in other networks to help you substantiate what you have now?
We go to networking evenings quite a lot, but the main one for us is, we call it our Mastermind Group. I don't know if you've read the book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, and he talks about the Mastermind principle. So sorry,
there's a movie that's just come out.
Oh, is there?
Wow,
nice. I'll have to see that. But the Mastermind Group, so it's basically lots of people that are in the same boat, but are all in different parts of their journey. So you've got people that are starting out, people that have been in property 10 years, 20 years, 30 years even. And we all get together on a sort of a professionally run day. Speakers from the property industry come in based on what the actual group are sort of struggling with. So say mortgage brokers, if somebody needs some help with something, that they can get a specific speaker to come in at the next one. And it's like being part of a small family, and we're all becoming great friends, and having that support around us just gives you the confidence, because like you said, it's about taking action. It is hard out there, you've got to believe in yourself, and having these people around us that's been the main thing that's helped us through it, really, is the Mastermind Group.
The generosity, particularly of the more experienced people, is just absolutely amazing. These people, a lot of them don't need to be there, but they give and give and give, and they're there supporting everyone. And you can see that those people that are being supported will do exactly the same, and it's lovely.
So we found that with the property industry, everyone we've kind of met through property, they're all so positive, and they want to help you, and they want to talk about their journey, and everybody's so sharing, because effectively when you meet another property investor, you are kind of in competition, because you're both going out looking to buy houses, and you both want angel investors and all these types of things. But it's really not competitive. Everyone's so supportive, which just helps move you along. So if anybody listening, I'd say try and get into a mastermind group. Even if you just all got together at a pub and just shared ideas and helped each other and talk about your mistakes, what you sort of struggling with, and just getting that out there, and that support group just really is fundamental to it.
So important.
If you go in, you've got a positive mental attitude, even if you don't know anything, even if you're just offering little bits of glimmer of hope and positivity, people respond to that. In those groups, you're going to find investors, you're going to find support, you're going to find accountability, you're going to find mentors and guidance and all the rest. And all of that is critical for you guys, especially being just two of you. It'll just build out that full circle of support that you need to be able to carry on growing. So again, you guys are doing it by the numbers, and you're cracking on. So it's fantastic. But there's one gap here. Everybody thinks property investors are greedy and money hungry, and we all are, or else we wouldn't be in business. But it's not always about the money, is it? It's about the good that we can do with the money. So in closing, I just want to know, what are you guys grateful for? What do you guys do that's ethically correct? Are you involved with any philanthropic activities or charities or green themes, or what do you guys do?
Well, to be honest, I haven't been involved so closely, but one of my favourite things that I used to do with my family, that I want to get involved with and want to set up in the future, was what we always used to do on Christmas Day. Now, Christmas Day is big for everyone, but because of the jobs that my family works, we tend to have the Christmas Day on Boxing Day. So that left a lot of time for a lot of people on Christmas Day. And our favourite thing for about 3 or 4 years, which was organised by my cousin Luigi, there was a church in Deptford in London, and my brother, my sisters, cousins, we would help the minister at the church collect the elderly and infirmed, people that didn't have anyone on Christmas Day. And that was generally my uncle Luigi and my brother who would bring those people to the church. Meanwhile, we would cook a roast and have a roast dinner with these people that didn't have anyone else. And that was lovely. And I want to be involved in more things like that. At the moment, the thing that I'm involved with closely, it comes off the back of the bars and the clubs. And I'm one of the directors for the BID, which is the Business Improvement District in Cheltenham. And we're trying to facilitate making Cheltenham better. Obviously, it's voluntary, but it's really interesting. And, I've been very fortunate. I've had good people around me, and I've been supported, nurtured, and it's nice to be able to give back.
And I think our goal is to sort of have the company support us financially to give us more free time. Is you've kind of got to be selfish before you can be selfless. So we're planning on doing things like that when we've got more time. It's kind of like, let's work really hard now for the goal to release us, so then we can start getting involved in activities like this. But going back to being grateful, we've spoke about it a lot, but the network in the Mastermind Group, the people in that is who we are truly grateful for, because they really do help. And in July, our Mastermind Group, we're doing a sponsored walk at Scafell Pike in the Lake District. The guys that sort of run the Mastermind Group, who's our mentor and his wife, become really good friends. Their son has dyspraxia, so we're raising money for dyspraxia, and we're all going to trek on up Scafell Pike and have a good day and raise some money for charity. So that's in July, so hopefully it'll be nice and sunny, and yeah, it'd be nice. The Lake District is beautiful, so we're really looking forward to that.
If you want, sorry, and I suppose the only people that we've forgotten would be our friends and family, our close friends and family, who have been so supportive. You know, when you think about making this decision and delving into something, you know, that I have zero understanding of, and I said my brother-in-law would tell you that, but they've been so supportive, and Alec and I benefit so much from our friends and family being there, encouraging us when we're down, picking us up, you know, and we've been very lucky.
No, you guys have done phenomenally well in the last 18 months. I've been watching your steady and progressive rise month on month, week on week, and it really is impressive. I mean, to start off, like you said, with having no knowledge at all, to have turned over multiple properties for profit, and you guys are well on your way to achieving that financial freedom. And I couldn't agree with you more. You have to look after yourself first. And somebody mentioned this analogy to me the other day, and it makes a lot of sense. Is if you're in an airplane, what do they teach you before you take off? So when the gas masks pop down, you've got to put your gas mask on yourself first. So you've got to look after yourself so that you can then help others. And a lot of people say, oh, we're just chasing the money. And I disagree. I believe that the more money you make, the more money you have, and the more knowledge and experience and influence that you have to be able to leverage that off to be able to do the good. And I believe everybody in their hearts is a good person, and this is a clear avenue to release you to be able to do all of that good. What did you say?
Absolutely, yeah. It's all about the goal of creating that freedom, so then you can start to give back.
Yeah,
absolutely. And that's where the true value is. You know, is the journey of yourself, and then helping other people to do that journey. You know, I think that's where the true value is.
Absolutely,
that is the goal.
Yes,
absolutely.
Guys, you've given me the whole picture, the complete circle, from before, the during, the after, and what you're going to be doing. Again, you guys have done phenomenally well. It's been an honor to have you on the show. Thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen out there in radio land and property land, this has been Building Returns, hosted by Radio W.O.R.K.S. My name is John Stokoe. Tonight we had Philip and Alec from Promenade. I wish you all the very best. Enjoy, and we'll catch you again next week. Happy days.
You too. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.